Hello, my name is Michael Addington. This is my presentation on the dark web and the deep web. A closer look at the dark web and the deep web. Did you know that you most likely access the deep web every day and don't even realize it? Although the dark web and deep web might sound like similar entities, they are not. An often believed misconception about the dark web is often associated with elements like the illegal drug trade, weapons embargo, and etc. And even though some of those things are true, the real truth is much more complex than that. So today, I'd like to take a closer look at the term dark web and deep web in order to understand what they are and how they work. The surface web. Before we get too deep into understanding the dark web and deep web, let's take a look at something easier to understand that all of us use every day. I'm referring to the surface web. The surface web is part of the World Wide Web, which is indexed, by which means that it can be searched via a search engine like Google or Bing. The surface web may contain things like your favorite streaming store or your shopping website or social media site. If a search engine can pull up a website, then it is part of the surface web. The surface web has publicly accessible Uniform Resource Locators, or URLs, which means that you can search for not only the website itself, but specific parts of that website that are not private. You can also search for a specific channel or media that is within the website directly. The deep web. The deep web, which is part of the World Wide Web but cannot be accessed via search engines, as much of this data is password protected. And as shady as that might make it sound, this data largely comprises digitally protected everyday data, such as the movies we stream on Netflix, all social media profiles and their media, and all your protected cloud backups, medical, financial, and legal records, and our private videos on YouTube. So it wouldn't make much sense to have these types of data indexed so that anyone could get to them by simply entering the proper URL. If this was so, we would have a lot of privacy issues. And that is why we have those bits of data that are not indexed and not searchable. So we can think of these protected sites and data logs as a layer of the internet hidden beneath the surface, thus its name, the deep web. Due to the nature of it, the exact size of the deep web is difficult to gauge. However, its popularly believed to be 99% of the entire web. Just imagine the entire profiles of Facebook's nearly 3 billion strong user base. All that data is just a tiny fraction of the deep web. So what is the dark web? The dark web is a section of the internet which is often referred to in popular culture such as TV shows and movies. It's a portion of, or a subset of, the deep web, but a very small one, in fact, 0.01%. Dark websites, which only number in the thousands, are actually meant to be easily accessible to people. However, they require a very particular software like Tor or Freenet or I2P to access the dark web. This type of software allows users to bypass the encryption needed to get through to these websites, and it also makes the user anonymous, allowing them to be truly untraceable on the dark web. And this is exactly why a lot of criminal activity takes place on the dark web, such as drug trafficking, weapons trade, and even scams, among other things.